Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video on a much better board, to be honest, than we've done in the past. This is an Asus TUF Gaming X670E-Plus, so obviously big upgrade from the A520MA or whatever it was that we were doing a couple of weeks ago. This is usually the kind of board that I work on, but I just wanted my first couple videos to be sort of simpler, I guess, because these motherboards are obviously a lot more complex. There's a lot more going on, and the issues with them can just be worse, basically, than those. But then again, I also don't want to keep doing component damage, like, knocked off resistor or capacitor or whatever every single time. So, I don't know what the issue is with this one yet, but I've had a look at it, and it doesn't look like there's any damage on the front or the back. I haven't tried to no, I have tried to boot it, but I don't remember what happened. I don't remember what the issue was, like what LED was coming up. So that is what we're about to find out. So yeah, like I was saying, nice high-end board. And okay. That might have been the issue then. No power. Unless no, everything's switched on, yeah. It should be getting power. Okay. Right, well, that'll be the issue then. No reaction to power button. So, I've already had a look at it. Didn't see any component damage. Next thing that I want to do, just general diagnostic stuff. Take out CMOS battery. I've probably already done this when I was testing it earlier, but I don't remember anything, so we're just going to do it all again. Short the clear CMOS header on the front. I'm not going to put the battery back in for now. I'm just going to see if this works. No, nothing. Okay. Let me first make sure that it's actually getting power. Because I'm not seeing any LEDs lighting up, but there just might not be any. So I'm just going to check the power pins. Oh yeah. Okay, 3.3 volts, yeah. Power is on, and there is just no reaction, basically. So next thing I'm going to do, put the battery back in, see if that makes a difference, but it probably won't. Oh. Okay, there you go. I don't know if you heard that, but my power supply just went on and then immediately off after I put the CMOS battery back in. I can see that these pins in the bottom right here are a little bit bent, but they're not shorting anything out, so that won't be an issue. That was probably just during shipping, because they're right in the corner, they got squished in a little bit. Okay, that's interesting. Oh! Okay, so CMOS clear didn't do anything, but then once we put the CMOS battery back in, now we're getting a DRAM light. Is that gonna stay? Memory training takes a while on a DDR5, so I'm gonna wait for a little bit. Like, genuinely, on some other boards, it has taken like 2 or 3 minutes. It's just been stuck on the DRAM light before it's like actually gone onto VGA and boot. Like, sometimes I've literally thought, okay, yeah, DRAM issue, switched the board off, done some like random stuff, come back to it, switched it on again, and then this time actually waited like 3 or 4 minutes, and then it's just booted. So clearly I just didn't wait long enough the first time. So yeah, I'm just gonna let this run for a little bit. Hopefully CPU's okay. I mean, doesn't... I'm always worried about it overheating, because once that's what happened to me. Like, I just left it on a DRAM light because I was trying to see if it would boot, and then the CPU, there was some sort of issue with it, and it just shorted out my CPU. Well, it just overheated my CPU. It went to like 200 degrees. I only realized because I got my thermal camera out to have a look while it was training, and I saw that this whole area was like 160 degrees. Okay, yeah, it's been going for a while. I don't see any difference right now. I'm just gonna switch. Oh, okay, the RAM wasn't even in. Okay, that could be an issue. Did I put... Yeah, I put it in the right way, I just didn't click it in all the way. Whoops. Let's fix that. There we go, now it's in. So maybe that was the DRAM issue that we were seeing. Okay, and now no reaction. Huh. Wait, what? So if I take the RAM out, no, nothing. Okay. I'm confused. Why did it boot a second ago and now it won't? So it booted when the RAM... Oh, okay. Same thing. It just turned on and then off. Yeah, well, I mean, it didn't boot, but it reacted to the power button when the RAM was, like, partially in. And now it's not reacting anymore. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna do another CMOS reset here, because I don't know what's going on. I've never seen this kind of behavior before on a board. And now nothing, not even the instant power off. What is going on? Okay, different RAM slot. Number 3 now. So we've tried 2 and 4. Those are... Oh. What? Doesn't want to go in. Okay, why does my RAM not want to go in the RAM slot? Is the correct way around, for sure. Okay, there we go. That was a bit weird. Nothing. Okay. Now all of a sudden we're just not getting any reaction at all. Let's put it back in slot 2, where it was to begin with. Honestly, I'm gonna... Yeah, okay, nothing. Oh no, the LEDs are on, I just didn't see them. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that on camera, there's some LEDs down here. Okay. I can hear like a... Wait, maybe you'll hear it on the mic, hang on. Okay, that is weird. What is going on? And it gets higher pitched when I short the power pins. What? Okay, I feel like surely something's like shorting out or something. What is going on? Okay, no. What? Okay, I'm gonna try something a bit weird. I'm gonna do what I did earlier and have the RAM like half in and see if it boots like that. Okay, what is this high-pitched whining though? What is going on? So, yeah, nothing now. And then as soon as I power the board on, I can hear it. I don't even know where it's coming from exactly, just somewhere on the board. Okay, you know what? Before I do anything, I'm just gonna clean these RAM slots out with some IPA. Just like this, like I've done in the past, like I've shown in videos, in the previous video actually. I think this was what fixed the previous board, just cleaning out the RAM slots. Yeah. And after I do this, I'm gonna have a look at some other stuff. Because, yeah, I don't really know what's going on with this board right now. Ah, okay, I see what the issue is. Basically, I have to turn it on immediately after giving it power, otherwise it won't power on. I have had this issue before. Actually, I had this issue on the motherboard that I'm currently using in my PC because I managed to fix it. But there, in that one, basically, it was with the BIOS Flashback, and if I switched on the power, after about a second, the BIOS Flashback LED would start flashing, and the flashback function would kick in, and at that point it would not react to the power button. But if you powered it on, and like immediately powered the board on as well, then yeah, it would just boot normally. And I think we're seeing something similar here. Yeah, nothing. But if I, okay, switch power off, then if I give it power and immediately power it on, in fact, I can just hold it down now. Yeah, it's fine. Well, I say fine, it doesn't boot anyway. I've got my PCIe tester card in, and I can see that 3VSB is on, which is good. But I can see a MOBO, so motherboard error light, which I don't know what that means. Like, it's not very useful. But well, I guess it's telling me that there definitely is something wrong with the motherboard, I guess. So it doesn't look like the flashback is the issue this time, but something else is, and I don't know where to start, to be honest, because I've not seen something like this that isn't flashback. I think I will try reprogram the BIOS first, because it might have something to do with the BIOS. I just have a feeling that, like, after it gets to a certain instruction in the BIOS, at that point is when I can't power it on. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. I'll get it set up and I will be back. Or maybe not. Okay, we're getting verification errors. Interesting. Okay, so that could just mean that my contact isn't great and I need to redo it. Or this could be a BIOS chip issue, which would mean I probably need to replace it. Let me just try moving this around. Okay, yeah, that should definitely be good contact now. Ah, okay. Another issue. Is it on the same bit though? Wait, let me try again. Yeah, issue. Oh yeah, same thing. Oh, okay, well, looks like in that case we have a broken BIOS chip. Interesting. Let me just try one more time. Yeah, okay, exact same thing, yeah. That would explain a lot, actually. I guess, if the BIOS chip is cooked and it can't tell the motherboard what to do properly. So looks like I'll be replacing a BIOS chip, and actually that will be the first time I've ever done that. Thankfully I do have these in stock, I think. I'm back. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, it has been a while since I've had a look at this board. I just kind of put it to the side and forgot about it. But I did finally get the new BIOS chip soldered on. And actually the first time I did it, it didn't work because I don't think I had it quite aligned with the pads. So I had to do it again. Well, I just heated it up, moved it a little bit, but then it was detecting it, programmed it, it was fine. I haven't showed any of that because I've done all of that before. I mean, you can check one of my other videos if you want to see me programming or soldering using the heat gun or whatever. But basically, I just wanted to show you guys. If I just power the board on, give it power, there you go, it powers on. And we're just going to see it go through all the different VGA debug lights. There you go. Oh, should probably plug the display and that might help. Yeah, it might have helped if I plugged the display cable in to begin with. But yeah, you're just going to see it boot now, hopefully. Yep, on my monitor. There you go. Let me just check. Yeah. But if I now... Okay, well, let me power off first. Off, and then switch off the power. Switch it back on again. Now, I'm pressing the power pins. Nothing is happening. It's not reacting at all to the power button. And let me show you why. There you go. Do you see that? That is the BIOS flashback button flashing. And I think I've mentioned this in my previous videos. I had a really nice board that had this exact issue before once, where if you give it power and then wait more than like a second, it won't power on. But then if you power it on immediately, after giving it power, it will power on fine, board will boot, work, etc. So, hopefully, now that I've solved that one, I already know how to fix this issue, I'm going to be able to do the same thing here. So let me just explain what the fix was on my other board. Let me just take it apart quickly so I can turn it around. Okay, I've stacked a bunch of boxes up so you can see what I'm doing. But yeah, here on the back, well on the side, you can see this is where the BIOS switch is, the BIOS Flashback switch. And that's basically just connected to these four trapezium shaped pins here above my finger. So I think these two are ground pins. Well, three of them are ground pins, and then this one is the actual signal that when you press the button it just gets shorted to ground, and then that tells the BIOS, the separate BIOS chip on the board to do the flashback function. So let me just get the board view up so we can see it on the schematic. And unfortunately I cannot find the exact same board that we're using. So this is a TUF Gaming B650 Plus Wi-Fi, but it's got everything that we need on it. Like, for example, you can see the BIOS Flashback here, and this is what I'm talking about. The 3 grounds, and then this signal, 03 switch, and that the hashtag means that it's active low. So the signal is like true when it's low. So like, for example, when you press the switch, it like takes it down to ground, so it's low, and that means that you want the BIOS Flashback to like be active. And we can see this signal goes here to this chip. Well, not to the chip straight away, but it goes to I think this is a Schottky, yeah, Schottky, and goes to 03 Flashback active low, which then goes to this BIOS chip, not the actual SPI chip, this one that you can see. Like, there's a separate one that handles all the flashback and everything. And somewhere around here we're gonna have this signal, yeah, perfect, this signal connected to 3 VSB through an 8.2k resistor. So basically what I did on the other motherboard was I just got rid of this resistor and just shorted this signal to 3 VSB, because from what I understand, and this may be wrong, but I think it's checking to see, it's basically comparing this signal to 3 VSB. So the signal is at 3 volts, 3.3 volts when it's high, and then that's basically, you know, keeping it there. And then when you press the BIOS flashback switch, it then drops down to ground or closer to ground, and then that gets detected. But if we replace this resistor with just a solder bridge, then it's just going to stay at 3.3 volts permanently, even when you press the switch. Yeah, it's just going to stay at 3.3 volts during the boot up. So hopefully then like the signal isn't going to, because I don't really know exactly what's happening, to be honest. Like, I don't know why it thinks that the function is active, but if we just tie it to 3 VSB, it should stay high, and then it should just like, this will completely disable the flashback function. So if there is a BIOS issue on this board, you're not going to be able to fix it with flashback, because you're not going to be able to use flashback after we do this. But like, at least you can use the board, you know. Like I said, this is what I did last time, and it did end up fixing it. And that's the motherboard that I'm using in my PC right now, and I've been using that for like a few months now, and it's completely fine. So but the issue is that this isn't the same motherboard as the one that we have here, so I'm gonna have to find this signal and this resistor by myself. It should be somewhere in the same sort of area, but yeah, I'm just gonna have to test it. And to do that, yeah, I can probably just go into continuity mode and try and find where this signal goes to. Okay, so the way I'm gonna do this is I've swapped out my probe on my multimeter for a clip, and it is, oh, whoops, it is this bottom one that I want to try and clip onto. Oh, that's not going to hold very well. Okay, I'm going to try and lay it down and get it that way. There we go, just as long as it's making contact. Okay, so I've plugged all the cables in, but the board isn't on or anything, and I'm basically just, my black lead is clipped to the little pin that we saw on the back that is connected to the flashback signal. And basically I'm just going to start probing all the resistors that I can see around this area. in continuity mode, just to see which ones are connected to the actual flashback function. So I'm just doing it in continuity mode, because then when it detects a very low resistance, it's going to beep. So I don't even have to look at the at the multimeter. It'll just tell me. Oh, okay. There we go. Which one is it? This. Oh, it's both. Okay. I found two resistors here. There we go. That are connected to the flashback signal. Okay. Oh, and that's fallen off. That's fine, because now, okay, two possible options. In an ideal world, one of these would be already connected to 3.3, and then we can just short across it like I did with the other board that I had. But let me just check what voltage this signal is at. Wrong mode. There we go. So this is the bottom one that I'm measuring. 0.23 volts. Top one. Oh, there we go. Oh, 3.3. So we found it basically straight away. Okay, that's quite lucky. It's not easy to get readings, so let me just double check the bottom one as well. Yeah, okay. Because, yeah, it's not easy to get a reading because I've got flux everywhere around here. Because I didn't wipe it off after I soldered the BIOS chip, so it's kind of getting in the way. But yeah, that top one is definitely at 3.3 on the right side, and the left side is connected to the flashback function, which is, yeah, it's pretty low. It's at 0.188. So I'm not surprised that the board thinks that we're trying to do the flashback, because that is very low. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just gonna try and solder a bridge across to see if... Oh, actually no. Instead of that, I'm just gonna try and short across it. Oh wait, there's a much easier way I can do this. Just short across both sides. Just make sure it's on. Yep. Okay, board is on, and if I can power this on... Oh, perfect. Okay, so it is working. I'm just gonna show that again with actually the side view, so you can see the BIOS flashback light flashing. So like if I turn it on now, give it a second. Yeah, there you go. You can see, I think you can see that. Yeah, you can see the light flashing very clearly. But now, okay, let me just do that again, because I don't know if that was very visible. So I'm just shorting both sides of the resistor. Power is on, and you can see no flashing. And now if I let go, yeah, and there you go. It's back to flashing again. And now I can't power it on anymore. Okay. So yeah, basically I'm just gonna remove that resistor and just do a solder joint across it, and hopefully then everything will be working fine. Yeah, so here's the BIOS like additional chip thing that I was talking about, and this area is where I found the resistors. It was these two where the left side was connected to the flashback function, and then this top one on the right is connected to 3.3 volts. And yeah, okay, the quality here is awful, and I'm really sorry, but I think this is the best that you're gonna get for the moment. So yeah, I'm just gonna be taking that top one off, and you can see all the flux everywhere. I'm going to clean that off as well. Yeah, just gonna take that top resistor off, do a bridge across there, and then it should keep the flashback signal at 3.3 volts and just basically completely bypass it. And then we will just be able to boot normally, hopefully. So let's get started with that. Okay, I'm back. All I did was literally just took out that resistor and then soldered across the two pads. And now, if I power the board on, okay, board's got power. We'll wait a few seconds, and hopefully this powers on. Ah, okay, perfect, nice. So yeah, the flashback function isn't going to work anymore, but I mean that's not really an issue. I mean most motherboards don't even come with it, so yeah, let's just see it boots. You should see my, yeah, there you go, screen's lighting up. And yeah, we're in the BIOS. So I'm happy that this is now fixed. Well, not really fixed technically, just kind of a workaround. But you know, if it works, it works, I guess. So I'm just gonna do some tests now. If they're all okay, then this will be the end of the video. If not, then well, I guess we'll see further diagnostics or whatever. But yeah, thank you for watching. This video, yeah, has been a while in the making because I just kind of forgot about it halfway through. So it has been a few weeks now, but you know, we got there, we fixed it, and got some other stuff happening. There's a graphics card that I was working on that I mentioned in my previous video. Unfortunately, it kind of blew up a little bit. Well, the capacitors on it, I didn't protect them from the heat well enough, and one of them blew up as I was trying to get the diarmos on. So that's been put on hold for now. But yeah, once I've ordered 2 new capacitors to replace them. Because, well, there's one that's blown up and there's another one that's, like, about to blow up. So I'm just going to have to take that one out as well. And, yeah, I mean, I'm still going to make that video. So you'll see that whenever that releases. Whenever I get those capacitors, get them put in, and then hopefully get the board running. And yeah, stay tuned for more, I guess. Like, comment, subscribe, everything, all that. And I will see you in the next one.